Hey everybody. Welcome to the Roaring 20s. The first meeting of 2020 for the Santa Clarita Canyon Country Advisory Committee. Tonight we'll start as usual with our flag salute and some announcements. And then we're going to have a discussion about the homeless problem, because the homeless problem is getting worse. And we really need to discuss what should happen, because we're throwing a lot of money at it from the standpoint of the city, the county, and the state. And I've been writing some articles about it, but right now we're talking $1.2 billion from Los Angeles City, $3.5 billion from the county, and the governor with another $1.4 billion. And nothing seems to be happening. I'll tell you why and where the money is being wasted. Then, just cheerful as it might be for a new year, Rick Drew will give us a heads up on what to expect when we're filing this year's income tax return, which is something I know that we all look forward to each year, because it's something that's just wonderful to do. And then I'm going to go down through a list of the new laws that the state of California has now put in force as of the most of them as of in the first of the year. And I'm specifically going to talk about one which is seems to be the biggest problem that I can think of, and that's the one about housing and rent control, because it has not been enforced for a month yet, and already we have property owners that seem to be testing it. So we'll talk about all of those things. Then our version of public participation, which is the first 5 people for 1 minute. Next meeting preview, and then we'll adjourn promptly at 9 o'clock. In looking for things that were going on this month or this year, I normally look for heroes all around us, or things, the people that are doing extraordinary things. And I think that one of the things that we've been watching in the news has been the wildfires in Australia. I mean, Australia is burning. I mean, it's a tremendous problem. It's going on all over over their country. Firefighters are in danger, in severe danger, and we've had firefighters killed there in fighting these fires. And everybody seemed to be looking for a reason why the fires were occurring. We had a lot of people say, oh, it's global warming, oh, it's this, it's that. And then we find out it's arson. And it's just inconceivable to me about people that want to burn their own country down. You know, realize that in World War II, the Japanese had a plot to burn California. They were sending firebombs over in balloons, trying to set wildfires in Northern California. And I've also heard discussions from some of the terrorist organizations in the Middle East that are talking about, well, that would be something that would disrupt us terribly. And so here you see that happening. We've sent firefighters over to Australia. I think it's really shows that we're all in this together, and that there really are heroes all around us, and hopefully all these bad guys are convicted. I understand they initially arrested like 180 people, but only 12 of them are actually being prosecuted. So they're looking for it, and hopefully they'll get the problem under control. So in the meantime, just thinking about that, Judy, would you lead us in the flag salute?
Yes.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. For a few announcements, I'm sure everybody has heard that our sheriff's captain, who was the captain of our local sheriff station, Captain Lewis, has been promoted to commander. I spoke with him about that. He actually asked, even though he was promoted, whether he could stay in Santa Clarita, and he was told no. So he's going to be moving out. He's been in that position for about 3 years, and he is a guy that I really admire. He's someone that loves what he does, and he loves what he does not for the reasons of exerting power, but he loves it because he's very interested in helping the community, and he's done a phenomenal job. So at the next city council meeting on the 28th, they're going to say thank you to Captain Lewis, and we're going to give him a certificate as well for the great service that he's done. It's going to be very, very hard to find someone that will fill his shoes. So, and you know what? It's amazing. But like he told me when I talked to him, he says, you got my cell phone number, so if there's really a problem I can help you with, give me a call. And that's just the kind of guy that he is. At Audna today, at Old Town Newhall Association, Tommy C. showed up. And of course, I don't know who Tommy C. was either. But, he was there in the flesh, alive, and kicking. He lived in Detroit, but I won't hold that against him. And he's moved out here because his son moved out here as well. And so he is a very musical guy, and he is going to put on a rock and roll show on Friday, February the 21st at, let's see now. It's at the Newhall Family Theater, which is Newhall Elementary School. And so tickets are only $10, but if you're over 65 or under 12, you get in free. And I happen to have some tickets that I would give out if you are in between 65 and 12 that I would give you for free. So it sounds like it would be a lot of fun, and we're going to see some local performers, and Tommy C. seems to be trying to become a member of the community, and that's his band, the Black Widow Grease Band. I guess that's from Detroit, Greece. Yeah, that's true. From Audna also, Board and Brush Creative Studios are still running some classes. It's a workshop for constructing stylish and unique wood decor projects, and they have an instructor that will lead you through the process. And so they said they have a code here. If you want to take a class, you can get $10 off, and they are in downtown Newhall. Henry Mayo was there. Charmaine, you remember when Charmaine was here to talk to us about all the different classes that Henry Mayo offers? Now they have expanded the number of classes. This is part of a guide. There's some of them on the back table if you'd like one. And all those classes are at no cost. So you can go and you can take the classes. And Charmaine has a class that's running on Wednesdays right now. That's why she's not here. But she told me as soon as that class is over, well, she'll come and talk about what her new classes are. So I think that's a really good thing for the community. You do not have to be a Henry Mayo patient. You do not have to, all you have to do is say, I want to take a class, and you're in. Now, one thing that happened at the Old Town Newhall Association this month, and I thought was a little interesting, was that our fearless leader decided that he would make it Milton Rodriguez, who is a State Farm agent in Old Town Newhall. And he is right now president of the board of the Old Town Newhall Association, and I'm the vice president. But he invited anybody that wants to come to their meetings and find out what's happening in Newhall to be there. Their meetings are always on the third Wednesday of the month. They take place at 9 o'clock in the morning at El Trocadero. So if you want to find out what's going on in Old Town Newhall and see the different vendors and people that attend, you can be there. The sheriff's deputies are normally there. They weren't there today because they had a special training meeting to teach them how to count homeless people in Santa Clarita. And but they're normally there, and they fill us in on crimes that occurred within the past month. And the Santa Clarita Economic Development and the communications department are there, and also Phil Lantis from Arts and Events. So not only if you want to find out what's happening in Old Town Newhall, if you have some questions you want to ask these individuals, well, it's an open forum. So, Milton's inviting everybody. You do not have to be a member. You can just come and look on if you like. So that's all I had for announcements. We have a public participant, don't we?
Yes.
Oh, public participant, you want to come on up here?
Sure. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't know how many of you are aware. I don't know how many of you live in the Sulphur Springs School District. Any? Okay, you might be aware that on March 3rd there'll be a school bond on the ballot for $78 million. I'm requesting that you oppose that school bond. As you might be aware, in 2012, Sulphur Springs passed a bond of $72 million. That money still is not fully expended. They floated $10 million on December 10th of 2019. So the reason that primarily I'm opposing it is that I don't believe it conforms to Prop 39 and that there is not a specific project list attached to it. They give you a whole bunch of stuff that they might want to do, but you don't know exactly what you're getting when you vote for it. And the project list is dependent in their resolution upon getting state matching funds. You might know that there's going to be another Prop 13 on the ballot March 3rd that will be for a state bond to provide the state matching funds. So who knows if that's going to pass, but certainly, I'm sorry? Did somebody say something? Okay. So, I've done a lot of research on this. I research bonds early in the morning is what I do. And if you go, all of the schools were modernized. They'll say the schools are 40, 50 years old. All of the schools were modernized in the 2000s, up to 2005. 2 of the schools are new. So if you look at the School Accountability Report Card, which is available online, you'll see that all the schools are rated as either good or exemplary. Okay? There's never going to be enough money for these people. They're going to say, well, you know what? Am I on a timer with you? Okay, so they'll say, well, we don't have it. Our classrooms can't accommodate science, technology, engineering, and math. So what they really don't want you to know is that what they want to do is buy new furniture, desks on wheels, so that kids can collaboratively work together and put in new storage cabinets. They'll say, well, we need to we have to do HVAC systems, we have to do plumbing, we have to do energy efficiency. They just went through $72 million. So the school accountability report cards filed by the district do not justify another $78 million. In case anybody wonders whether the list is specific or not, I had Lee Barnathan call the president of the Board of Trustees. His name is unpronounceable. It's Di Figurito. Do you know this guy, anybody? Anybody know Dennis Figurito? He said that the list was not specific, and it is general to give the district as much flexibility as possible. If we get too specific and tie our hands, we have money left over we can't do anything with. We have ideas of what we want to do. Unfortunately, that doesn't conform to Prop 39. Prop 39 allowed passage of a bond measure with a 55% supermajority. Prior to the year 2000, it took 2/3. So the game is to lower your supermajority from 2/3 to 55%, but the school district does not want to conform itself to a specific list so that you know exactly what you're buying. One other thing is that the district failed to maintain a citizens bond oversight committee during Measure CK. And that's clear in the performance audits that were done for the district. It says you did not have an active citizens bond oversight committee during 2018 and 2019, which are the most recent fiscal years. So what they did is they reconstituted a citizens bond oversight committee just before they passed the resolution to put this bond on the ballot. So for all those reasons, I would ask I don't live in the Sulphur Springs district. Because I know so much about bonds and I was aware of this coming on the ballot, I wrote the ballot argument against it. So when you get your voter pamphlet, I wrote the argument against it. And they wrote a rebuttal saying that I don't live in the district, which is true, but I know more about bonds than any of the damn trustees on the Sulphur Springs district. And I will debate anybody. You bring Ken Chase here, okay? Just like Bruce Fortine. I will take him on face-to-face next month right here, and I just don't, these folks, I mean, they prey on the taxpayers, and I don't want to see that anymore. I just want to, they lie. So, thank you.
I love challenges.
I was hoping
I love challenges, yes.
I was hoping when I came
Go
to the
ahead.
door,
You got something? Go ahead.
you're sitting in Sulphur Springs. So basically anything.
A year ago, the county developed a Chiquita Canyon Advisory Committee made up of 7 members, and their first meeting to discuss and advise the Chiquita Canyon is January 21st, which is next Tuesday night, from 6 to 8. It's going to be at Stevenson Ranch Library. So I was just making that announcement. Chiquita Canyon Advisory Committee, January 21st, from 6 to 8, Stevenson Ranch Library.
All right, very cool. We're running a little late. For the next meeting preview in February of 2020, we're going to have Homes for Families here, Bridget Mills. Homes for Families was Habitat for Heroes, that kind of thing. They're going to talk about what they do. It just turns out that I was involved with a different group, and we put on a Toys for Veterans Children run, and we got some gift cards that I had no idea that were donated to us. I had no idea what they were. I gave them to Bridget, and she worked with them. And I asked her, "Will you come here and talk about what Homes for Family does?" She said she would. Also, we're going to have a presentation on what's new in voting in November, and I'm going to reserve comments on that until you hear it, and then we can talk about it together. And then we'll talk about who's running for the different offices in November. And by the way, I want to thank all of you for attending the first meeting of the year. And hopefully we'll see you all back here next month. Thank you very much.